Hi, my name's Ravani, and today I'm going to be talking about transferring knowledge. Coming into Purdue my freshman year, I had a distorted sense of what leadership was. I thought that the qualities that make a good leader is just part of who you are as a person and you can't really change it. And I thought that good leaders had to be 100% confident and extroverted all the time. This instilled a fear that I had of becoming a student leader and pursuing things that I really wanted because I was too shy and introverted at the time. Then, towards the end of my freshman year, I got a student assistant job at CELD, and I got to work with amazing coordinators and directors that are dedicated to fostering student leaders through community engagement here at Purdue. And this ignited my curiosity into the world of leadership and service. So I got home from a long day of classes and hopped onto my laptop to find student organizations. And I kept coming back to this organization called MedLife that my sister introduced me to. MedLife is a nonprofit that works to empower the poor in their fight for medicine, education, and development. And I was really interested in this multifaceted approach to poverty, and that's what stuck out to me the most. I went to a call-up meeting and talked more about the organization with my sister, and I fell in love with MedLife. I got to do a lot of volunteering locally, like at elementary schools, nursing homes, and the homeless shelter. And I also got to learn about how certain Latin American countries like Peru, Tanzania, Ecuador, and Nicaragua are affected by the constraints of poverty. So during a meeting, we got to hear from a community member in Lima, Peru named Maribel through a video. And Maribel talked about her 8-year-old son, Nicholas, who had a heart condition. And she said that there was a surgery that could potentially save his life. And the only obstacle was the cost of the surgery. And she pleaded with us to help her save her son's life. And hearing those words just sent chills down my spine. This is when I realized all the real issues that go on in other countries. It made me not only interested in healthcare, but also sparked something in me to try and help. I was inspired by this quote from Gandhi, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And I had so many ideas for MedLife that were driven by the determination that I had to help Maribel and others like her. So the first step I took towards a leadership role was my position as fundraising committee chair at MedLife. After a semester as fundraising committee chair, I decided to assume a more macro role in MedLife. Inspired by Gandhi's quote, I had big dreams and goals for MedLife that I was passionate to accomplish. And this is when I ran for president. My perception on leadership completely changed after I took this role. When I began my role as president, I spent hours on MedLife almost every day. Our organization had issues with attendance, and I worked really hard to try and inspire potential members to join. And as a sophomore, this was a lot of work for me. I thought it would be easier to do the work on my own rather than ask for help from my board, and this taught me a valuable lesson. I thought that being a leader meant delegating work and making all decisions and having all the responsibility, but I quickly realized that I was wrong. To be a good leader, you have to foster new leaders, and by filling my plate with all the responsibilities of my organization, I wasn't just overwhelming myself, but I was also taking away the opportunity for the exec members to develop their own leadership skills. And moving on towards the end of my freshman year, I wanted to get more experience in the pharmacy field to better prepare myself for applications. And feeling more confident with these newfound leadership skills with MedLife, I started a new job at CVS as a technician. And I was really curious to see how some of these leadership skills would translate into my off-campus job. When I began my training, I did not have the most traditional experience. They were in between trainers at the time, so I missed out on a lot of one-on-one training. So most of what I learned, I did so on the job, which for me was very difficult with all the complex aspects of working in a pharmacy with prescription drop-off and also insurance issues. And because of this lack in training I had initially, it took me a while to catch on. The beginning of my experience at CVS, I felt a lack of confidence in my ability to lead. And being part of this new job, I worked with a lot of people that were older than me, and because of that, I didn't feel the authority to correct people or ask questions because I didn't want to disrupt the workflow. However, one of the pharmacists that I work with was willing to offer help to me whenever I would need it, and it made me feel more comfortable in an otherwise overwhelming environment. I was also amazed at the compassion that I was shown, as well as his ability to lead a team in such stressful situations. During the beginning, I felt incapable and a huge lack in confidence. I was trying to incorporate leadership skills into my new job, but I wasn't exactly sure how to do that. The pharmacist that I was working with encouraged me to ask questions and to get help when needed. And he also generally offered me guidance about my interest in pharmacy and sparked my passion for the field. Through some guidance from the pharmacist that I was working with, I started to get the hang of pharmacy technician life. I felt more confident asking questions and helping the patients, and I just overall started developing a deeper sense of appreciation for the pharmacy field, and I felt better with working with the rest of the staff and asking them questions. So this experience taught me two things. The first thing is the importance of having confidence as a leader. To be taken seriously and to contribute in a meaningful way, you have to be confident in decisions that you are making. But on the other hand, the other lesson I learned is that being a leader means building off of your skills. So this might mean reaching out and asking for help when you need it. I used to see asking questions and being unsure as a negative aspect, and I didn't think that it was indicative of a good leader. This experience made me realize that it was the exact opposite of what I thought. Of course, it's important to have confidence, but it's also admirable to ask questions when need be, because this only increases your knowledge and skill set, and I now see it as a sign of strength. These two experiences taught me the importance of transferable skills. The skills that you learn on campus, whether that be through group projects or student organizations, they will help you when it comes to your career. Like for me, the leadership and communication skills that I learned during my time as president of MedLife were just as important at CVS. I just had to use them in a different way and build on them. When I started off at Purdue, I never thought I would be the president of a student organization or even presenting here today. For me, my student organization acted as a catalyst for me to follow my passion for leadership. I started to feel more confident through my experience at CVS, and I learned how important it is to hold on to and develop your skills at every stage in your life. So leadership isn't about power, it's not just a title to add on your resume, and it also isn't just one stagnant thing. To be a good leader, you have to adapt to the change around you, motivate others, and lead with passion and confidence. Also remember that the skills that you learn here at Purdue are only going to develop further. No matter how overwhelming it might seem at first, everyone has the ability to be an amazing leader, and it all starts with one experience. Thank you.